Okay, so accidentally started streaming a minute late. Oh, big whoop, it's only a minute. And I also forgot to mute desktop audio, so you guys got to hear me boot up the Wii U. But, because I couldn't stream yesterday due to work, and I can't stream tomorrow due to work, and I did not stream on Wednesday because my hand would have fallen off. Gonna stream today. Hopefully I get this stage cleared. Because, well, I'm getting farther with each attempt, and there isn't much farther than actually beating the stage. So let's jump into it. Unmute desktop audio. Actually, game. And now, where were we? Okay, I got to turn. Bad. No, I was listening to the last attempt on the stage I made yesterday, or not yesterday, on Tuesday. God, I need to turn down my headset because, like, it's distracting hearing game twice, but with a little delay. Anyway, I rewatched that attempt, and anytime I talked, you could hear the volume of the gamepad. So now it's time to hopefully upload this stage. Never have to play it again until Mario Maker 2. So I guess some more to talk about with the Sonic film. I made it my go live message, but hey, they're gonna fix the Sonic film. Sonic probably won't look like God's mistake anymore. Now, I see a lot of people concerned that the animators are gonna have to go through a crunch period to fix this movie. And who knows, it might be a lack of empathy. But I'm not too concerned about that. I mean, from the get-go, Paramount had hesitation from Sega to use that design. Whenever they released the teaser image, it was met with nothing but backlash. Either backlash or the kind of, oh my god, this looks so bad, I love it, kind of reaction. There was not anyone who actually looked at that design and said, wow, that is a good design. I have a feeling they didn't change it then because they had the idea of, hey, when people see this in motion, they'll change their mind. This looks much better in motion than it does in stills, and they were wrong. Everyone still hated it. So I just have the feeling that now that everyone has doubled down on the opinion of this looks horrible, they realize, okay, we have very little time to spare. If we're gonna fix the design, we need to do it now. Now, as I tweeted at like 2 in the morning last night, maybe 1 in the morning, I can't quite remember. I was tired. I'm not too concerned about the potential crunch period because there's multiple things they can do to save time. There are 2 obvious solutions right off the bat that they can do in order to save time and or make it less strenuous on the animator. A, they can delay the film. I think it's pretty reasonable to delay the film with such a change like this. Movie will come out when it's good and damn ready. B, they could just ask Sega for the model. I mean, let's be absolutely real here. Why can't they just say, hey Sega, you were right, this design is bad, can we use your model? I mean, have you seen Sonic's model in the pre-rendered cutscenes for like Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Forces and anything using the Hedgehog engine? That model still looks good today. They use that model in the Progressive commercials. I'm pretty sure they also use that model in not Sonic Forces, Wreck-It Ralph. Like, why can't they just say, hey Sega, We were wrong, you were right, can we use your model? I highly doubt Sega will say, no, make your own model. So now that that's taken care of, those are the two obvious solutions. Delay the movie and just ask Sega for use of the official model. Some lesser solutions would be A. Apparently with 3D modeling, a lot of animations can still be saved, even if you change the model drastically. And even if the concern is, oh, but there are human-like animations applied to this model that wouldn't look right on Sonic, go play Sonic Adventure 2. All of those cutscenes were motion captured. And sure, some of them look a bit jank by today's standards, but by that time period standards, they still looked good. You can use human-like animation on Sonic, and it's not the worst thing in the world. Using a human-like design on Sonic, on the other hand, is. Wow, last time I complained about Sonic while playing this stage, I was able to make it farther than ever. Now when I complain about Sonic, it's just like, okay, we've heard enough of your shtick. Stupid Mario Maker. Still can't believe I whiffed the final jump last time. I mean, I wouldn't be able to have cleared the stage. I might not have been able to have cleared the stage in time anyway. Like from the other two checkpoints. But to make it that close. Wow, I don't think I've ever hit that piranha plant while hitting the bottom spring. But anyway. Also, with how quickly they announced that they were going to redesign Sonic, I have a feeling they may have anticipated this much blowback. I have a feeling they may have thought to themselves, okay, if Sega was hesitant, then maybe the community will be hesitant. So, we're gonna keep it in the cards. Just keep the idea in the back of your head that at any moment we may need to say, hey, we need to drastically redesign the character. I mean, it's not like they need to, like, go into each shot of the movie, meticulously edit Sonic out of it, and then superimpose a better design on top of it. No, they have the raw files. They can apply a new model. And if any animations look weird, then they just gotta keyframe it. But sure, keyframing takes forever. But it would just mean they need to rewatch the movie a couple times, see where the animations are screwy, and then adjust accordingly. And that's assuming that most of the animation is already done. It's very possible that all they have done is just the trailer. And that it's so early on that they can make this kind of change. Oh, almost did it. I feel like that's going to be the next hardest thing to do. Whenever I need to start clearing from the checkpoints. Because that's going to be the first checkpoint I need to clear from. And I'm going to have to remember how to do this without getting hit. Oh. Dang it. I only need to go up just a little bit to trigger them, and I went up too high. Okay. Gotta figure out a comfortable seating position here. There's also just have some, like, a bit of toilet paper on my face, because I woke up with a scab on my nose. Not sure why. There's just a scab on the bridge of my nose. That one's new. I'm still finding new ways to die in this stage. Why am I consistently dying on that now? Okay, well, I died twice in a row. Hard to call that consistent, but if I keep dying on it... Come on. Also, like, it may just be a bit of my cynicism of just about any heavy industry. But, the whole idea of the animators having to go through crunch and why I'm not too particularly worried about it. Kind of a pessimistic look, but when aren't they? Like, tell me what movie they worked on, like, that any animators in Hollywood worked on, where they basically weren't in a sense of crunch. Like, isn't that the entire business model of Illumination? I know Illumination isn't the people making the Sonic film, but as much as I would love to see crunch eliminated, we are nowhere. I don't think we're anywhere near close to the timeline where crunch is finally eliminated because it's abuse to your employees. Who knows, maybe the Sonic movie bombing so hard at the trailer and having to redesign Sonic, maybe the movie will be good, but then all the employees will speak out like, hey, this was hell. And that'll be the start for unionizing animators. Hopefully. Oh, come on. And besides, it usually seems like something terrible like this kind of thing needs to happen before a union will even be made. So maybe this will be a blessing in disguise. Is it a pessimistic outlook? Yes. That's about all I have left in this world. Dang it. Wait. Sometimes I hate my own challenges, but I'm glad they are being challenging. Not sure if you could hear my dog. Don't know what he's barking about. Mom is home right now. The only thing I can think of is maybe he wants to go outside, but usually it's the other dog that barks about that. Maybe it's just because it's been a couple days, but I already forget, like, how much brake do I have to apply to Mario to hit the proper spring? Like, am I hitting the brake too early, too late? Why is the dog barking so much? Child that mom babysits is here, and they usually know how to let the dog out. Dang it. Dang! I held the button. I even realized it too late. God, like, I can hear the TV from whatever YouTube junk that child is watching. Could be the most awkward sneeze I've ever had in my life that I feel coming on. I still have this, like, folded up piece of toilet paper being held to my nose by my glasses. It's longer than my nose. Dang it. Way too high. Can't tell if that's the sound of the child screaming because they're excited watching the video, and or the video is doing something to enact that kind of response out of them, or if that's the video they're watching screaming because it stars a small child. Okay, that's a first. Glad to discover more firsts. I feel like at this point I found almost every single way to die on this stage. If only there is a way to see developer deaths, like, from the website. Or from in-game. Like, you can see everyone else's deaths when they try to play the stage. I don't know why it stopped my momentum there. Breaking just enough for Mario to not make that jump. Still breaking just enough. Come on. I proved that if I can get to the endurance, I did it in one try. All I gotta do is get back there. Okay, now that was just me getting antsy. Thanks for the wall jump. That would have worked. Okay, so what else can I talk about? Anything new? Well, I seem to still suck at Mario Maker. Still have yet to try out the Labo stages in Mario Odyssey. But I don't have a good enough device to view Labo on. God, like, sorry, that notification was just, like, Twitter telling me, hey, these people liked the tweet. Like, I don't care, Twitter. But either way, there's still a lot of discourse going back. Who is messaging me? Oh. That. Okay. Put back into OBS before I drop every single frame. Anyway. A lot of tweets from animators. Half of animators are... Like, there are a lot of animators saying you don't know how animation works. That this is gonna take years of work that they're gonna crunch into 6 months. And there are other animators saying, oh yeah, all they have to do is swap the model. It's not that painful. Not that painful. So it's like not even animators know how bad this is gonna be. Also, why do I have a DM on Twitter? I have a DM. Thanks, Credit Karma. Another thing I had tweeted out recently might be viewable on the Twitter feed extension. But I tweeted out that I got an email from Credit Karma about them finding my email on, like, their, you know, web searches to make sure it's not where it shouldn't be. And their email said that they found it. But then when I went to go check, it was like, good news, we didn't have it. And it took them a few days to respond to me. And now it took them over a day to ask for me to fill out a feedback survey. Like, how was our service today? I don't know, you didn't give me service today, you gave it to me a day or two ago. And even then, it was a non-response. A non-response. That was a day or two late in and of itself. Like, thanks, Credit Karma. Ah, great. I don't think I have near... Yep, not enough invincibility frames. On. Oh, is my mic yeah. My mic having trouble picking me up when I lean back in my chair like this? Can't tell. I will say one thing that I've seen between, like, the argument of some animators going, oh, this is gonna take forever to fix in the Sonic movie, and some animators going, oh, this isn't gonna be that bad. From what I have seen, most of the people saying it's not gonna be that bad are people who've worked on, like, high-profile things, like Hollywood movies. And everyone saying this is gonna be forever are, like, more than hobbyist animators, but, like, they haven't worked on movies and junk. Because something that I feel needs to be remembered is the level of, like, computing technology in Hollywood is stupefying. Their computers are obscenely expensive and obscenely powerful, just so that way things like rendering doesn't take as long as it would for, you know, average Joe Schmo with Blender on a laptop. Like, you may think that gaming computers are really powerful, and even gaming computers take forever to render things. But usually whenever you start to super upgrade a PC, like if you put like 5 of the best graphics cards in one PC, you tend to get diminishing returns for like your game's graphics. The only thing that really buffs and enhances is like rendering capability. Hollywood computers are obscenely powerful. So a lot of the biggest concerns for like animators that aren't like working in Hollywood is mostly things like, okay, this is gonna take forever to render. You'll need to tweak the design, re-render the cutscene, or not cutscene. Re-render the scene, see how it looks, tweak the design, re-render the scene, and with all those re-renders, it'll add up. And obviously, if you have a weaker computer, it'll add up even more. As I saved that. And plus, I might just be giving the director benefit of the doubt, but would redesigning Sonic even be a card on the table if it would be as bad as people are thinking it'll be? Like, for the animators? Sure, on one hand, you can look at Hollywood and be like, yeah, they're ruthless. They don't care about their animators. They would have this card on the table no matter what. But who knows, even though I said I was a pessimist earlier, I do occasionally like to argue for the benefit of the doubt, argue for the sake of argument's sake. Redundancy. I don't think the idea of completely redesigning Sonic would be an option if they weren't ready to accommodate it. I feel like if it truly would have been as strenuous of a task as some people think it'll be, then they would have just buckled down and said, hey, this is going to be the design for Sonic in the movie, and we don't care if it's the worst thing about the movie. We don't care if literally everything is better, and we would have gotten like a 75 or something on Rotten Tomatoes had we had a good Sonic model. If it was truly going to be that taxing and that strenuous on the animators, I don't think it would have even been an option. Because let's realize it here, if Hollywood is truly so anti-union, they wouldn't try to do something like this. They would have realized, oh crud, we have to force animators to do this, they might unionize. Come on, why do I keep having trouble just jumping off that wall? Dang it. Backup phone, why do you keep failing me? Dang it, too much momentum. Didn't break enough. I am not concerned about potentially crunch timing the animators. Because A, if it truly is that strenuous and that bad, then we'll either A, see a delay to the movie, B, maybe see unions be made, and other changes brought to Hollywood, Or C, maybe next time we get a video game adaptation of a movie, the studio won't say, hey, we need to make it realistic because screw you. Maybe they'll actually make a movie good on the first attempt, instead of making a drastic new design that even the creator of the game is like, yeah, no. And, like, it might just be my outlook on things, but the job of being an animator sucks. Like, I can't look at that job and say, yeah, that's a job that I would wish on anyone. Sure, someone needs to animate. We wouldn't have animation if there were no animator. But just looking at the stuff that goes into it, that is a job that you need to know right from the front. This is not fun. If you find animation fun, don't do it full time. Because then you will learn to hate it. And if you can still find animation fun when you're doing it full time and having to crunch like that, then you are an exception, not the rule. You are what Hollywood wishes was the rule. You are an exception. Everyone else, not fun. It is not fun in the slightest. It is hours and hours of stress. And then after the hours and hours of stress, you notice one thing wrong with the animation, you have to go through all of that again to fix it. And then in a scenario like this with the Sonic movie, if it truly is as bad as everyone thinks it'll be, then I feel like that's part of the contract you sign. That's the occupational hazard. You are committing hours upon hours, days upon days of your life to making an animation happen. And someone can say, at a moment's notice, hey, we need to scrap everything and start over. There is so much at stake for this movie that if in the event it is truly this stressful, it'll bring about something bigger. So any animators that will be crunched can at least take solace in knowing that this won't be the end of the saga. Their crunch will likely not be in vain. Because if the movie turns out being good, then I can commend all the animators for being able to go through all that crunch and save the movie. If the movie ends up being bad, or the crunch ends up being super duper bad, then people will start complaining and protesting and possibly getting better working conditions for animators. Possibly reminding Hollywood that they can delay their films. Sure, time is finite, but you're only making time more finite by crunching people. So again, with all the potential crap at risk for if reanimating it is going to be this big of a problem, I feel like that's a risk they've already weighed. They already know this is the kind of crap that can happen if we do this, if that crap is truly there in the first place. that, unless I start talking about it again later because I get bored, that is why I truly am not concerned about the redesign of Sonic. Like, I'm happy that they're going to do it. They better do it, because it's literally the worst thing about the film. Everything else is good. If they need to hire more animators, if they need to ask Sega, hey, can we borrow some animators? Your current game is almost done. If they need to delay the film. I mean, apparently you can get away with putting a film out that's only 15 FPS. I mean, look at Into the Spider-Verse. I don't understand why that movie is at such a low frame rate. But apparently it's passable. That could save time on the render, just cut the frame rate in half. Spider-Man can get away with it, so can Sonic. Like, I'll be real though, that frame rate of Into the Spider-Verse, it kind of makes me dizzy. Like, I can't wait for a DVD release where they uncap the frame rate. So I can watch the movie in its full glory. But until we get a better frame rate version of Into the Spider-Verse, I really don't want to watch that film. You know, I also kind of find it funny. The day the trailer drops, all these people, like a lot of people, do these paint-overs. Like, hey, look, I fixed the design, I repainted over the scene, and here's how you could have made it look better. I think even some Sonic fan, like, renderers, like Raffle Knight, or whatever his name is, Rafa Knight. The guy who made the official 3D renders for Archie characters. I think that was Rafa Knight. He also made, like, the 3D Shantae model that everyone uses in their Source Filmmaker films. And I think he also made the 3D the 3D models for Undyne and Adult Form Azrael. But anyway, there were, like, fan Sonic renders going up of, like, just stills of the movie. Like, hey, here's how this would have looked with the actual model. It's not as bad as you think it is. And all of these things came out the same day as the trailer. Like, on one hand, it's like, see, I could fix this in a day. And then when they say, okay, we'll go back and fix it, everyone's like, no, it'll be too terrible. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you don't fix the model, then the movie sucks because we have to stare at God's mistake for an hour and a half. If you do fix the model, then you're terrible because you're putting people through hell to fix your mistake that shouldn't have happened from the beginning. It's like, what do you want? What do you want from this movie? What do you want from this director? What do you want from Paramount? Do you want to stare at an abomination for an hour and a half? Or do you want him to try and fix the abomination? Sure, the ultimate takeaway can be summarized as the abomination shouldn't have happened in the first place. And I will wholeheartedly agree with that. But at this point, which is the lesser of the two evils? And honestly, in my opinion, fixing Sonic's design is the lesser of the two evils. Because if we fix Sonic's design, we may be able to actually get more movies. It might not be Paramount doing the sequel, but it might be someone else like Illumination. If, say, the Super Mario movie comes out and it's decent, and the Sonic movie comes out and they fix the problems, Sega may ask Illumination, hey, can you do a sequel to this film? Or can we try films again with you? But if the Sonic movie comes out and it bombs because Sonic looks like ass, then I don't think we'll ever see him, or if we see him in films again, I feel like he might have a similar hiatus to that of Mario in films. So, like, again, I am not concerned about the potential hell of redesigning Sonic. I am more concerned that if they redesign Sonic and we don't hear anything about it, that either means A, it truly wasn't as bad a problem as people thought it'd be, or B, they don't change all that much and he still looks terrible. I think when I do that jump after I get the key, I should just hold the momentum. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Oh! So close. Dang it. Oh great, now I'm dying on all the easy spots again. What else can I complain about? The I don't have timestamps visible on my end. Second here. If for some reason, if I enable timestamps on like the OBS view of my chat, then it'll apply timestamps to the on-stream version of the chat, and I don't want that. Then I have to turn off the cropping filter, go into OBS and hit the option to interact with the web page, and then turn them off in there. I don't know why it syncs timestamps to that. Like, if I have them on now, before I stop streaming, I gotta turn them off, or else next time I launch OBS, it'll apply the timestamps to the on-stream chat. But anyway, hey, what's up? You came just in time to possibly not hear me complain about the Sonic movie anymore. Possibly. Unless you've been lurking this whole time. I have no way of knowing. Dang it. I was thinking of shortening the time limit in this stage, because you don't need all 500 seconds. But I couldn't be arsed. Because let's be real here, if I give you 500 seconds and you have room to breathe. A bad angle. Oh well. Dang it. Wasn't supposed to be a twirl, that was supposed to be a spin wall jump. Dang it. Why is that the wall? Like, out of every spinning wall jump I have to do in this stage, that is the one that I can't do as consistently as the rest. Like, every other wall that I have to do a spinning wall jump off of, I don't have as much difficulty doing said spinning wall jump. Maybe the one with the skewer, and I keep trying to say skewer. I don't know why I keep trying to say skewer. I've been saying skewer correctly for my entire life, but then when I started streaming the stage, it's just, I keep trying to say skewer. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oh, I almost saved that. Could have saved that. Really could have. Now it's that spike again. Has Mario done any spin jumps in the Super Mario 3D World style? Like in any of the trailers for Super Mario Maker 2, I don't think Mario has done a single spin jump. Starting to make me wonder if he can even spin jump in Mario 3D World. It's been a hot minute since I've watched any footage on it, and it's one of few Mario games I don't actually have. Or at least haven't beaten. I played it at a friend's house because he bought a Wii U that came with a digital copy for it. But he's since sold that Wii U in an attempt to save money for a Switch. That wall. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Am I not holding the direction of the wall in time? Am I pressing the opposite direction too soon? Now I'm hitting that too late. That was quite a tight angle to make. Surprised it happened. Like to bounce off of that piranha and then hit the spikes. Those spikes, however, are much easier to hit. God, I wish I... Part of me wishes I had a death counter, because I'm curious to know how many times I've died trying to upload this stage, or at least on stream. But I don't... Even if I did have a death counter, I probably would have forgotten to increment it multiple times. Who knows, maybe I can save all the VODs of my streams, stitch them all together, and then see if I could get some kind of auto-death counter running. Or maybe just, like, throw it into Vegas and just put markers every time I die. That's how I had to make it, X gonna give it to you, but every time he says it, it gets faster. Just every time I hear the word it, I pause, add a marker. He says it about 64 times in that song. I believe maybe only 60 or 59 if you don't count the quote-unquote dirty version, which just has the intro where he, like, barks at you. I hit the ceiling. But anyway, earlier I asked about, like, Mario 3D World having a spin jump. Mostly because if I remade this stage in Mario Maker 2, I'm not sure if I want to remake it in the new Super Mario U style or the Mario 3D World style. It's all gonna mostly depend on if Mario has a spin jump. Okay, so I do need to re-land on that Piranha Plant. Okay. Can I save this? Well, the answer was no, because I would have needed to spin wall jump in order to do a spin jump and land on the Piranha Plants. So either that first wall jump I did would have needed to have been spinning, or I would have needed to have done the spin wall jump much sooner. Or on the second wall. But I still think it's possible that you could save it from there. I don't think that's a dead game if you miss the first P-switch. I mean, if it is, then I could just make that a giant muncher and put a P-switch on top of it instead of having a pipe that infinitely spouts P-switches. Like, the thing about just about all these segments of the stage is none of them are one-and-done deals. Except for the final jump. The final jump is a one-and-done deal. Hang spike. You know, I'm not sure if changing that spike to a spring would be good or not, because I think that might give you too low of a jump. Like, I know the top spring will actually give you too high of a jump and you'll hit the ceiling, causing you to fall down prematurely and hit one of the munchers. And that was another time where the spin wall jump didn't happen. But like, the wall with the most inconsistency on my spin wall jumps is the one right underneath the springs. All the other walls I have a better consistency at hitting the wall jump for. That jump right there, I have the least amount of consistency for hitting the jump. This is a quick refresher in case anyone new is watching. I've not seen any Mario Maker stages that utilize the spinning wall jump as a challenge. Led me to believe that not many people know of its existence. But basically how it works is I need to hold the direction of the wall. Like, if Mario's running towards a wall, I need to hold that direction the wall is in, and then press the jump button. Even if you're in a spinning jump animation, you can do a normal wall jump, or a spinning wall jump. And now I died. With this information in hand, I made an entire stage that utilizes the spinning wall jump to its full potential. That said, it is very difficult to execute, and again, I don't think there are any challenges in in any new Super Mario Brothers game that has the wall, that has the spin jump. So like, New Super Mario Brothers Wii and above. And I haven't seen any Mario Maker stages that utilize the technique. Then again, I also haven't played all that many Mario Maker stages or watched people play all that many. I pretty much just did the minimum required number of 100 Mario challenges. Even though I had Amiibo to unlock some of the costumes, I still did the minimum number of challenges anyway. Dang it. Dang it! Like, you can make that final jump there with a spinning wall jump, but I find it easier to use a normal wall jump. Like, the momentum of that, like, final crevice that I, like, died on the last possible muncher for, the momentum for that crevice is timed for using a spinning wall jump. That entire shaft is timed for using exclusively spinning wall jumps. But I realized last stream that I could just use a normal wall jump, and I feel it's significantly easier. And I don't have much of a way to restrict into using spinning wall jumps. Like, I think the level design of the stage, I'm out of sprite slots and tile slots to make it more hostile for if you use a normal wall jump, or at least make it more difficult. But at this point, I don't care. Oh, Archimedes. I could see for a split second that Mario had his normal animation, like for wall jumping. But I pressed A, likely just a frame too late. Well, I think I'm screwed. Had Mario not got stuck on the wall there, I might not have been screwed. Wonder if they'll add the acorn suit or the penguin suit to what was the other power-up they added to New Super Mario Bros. U? There was the acorn suit, and I could have sworn there was like one else. Like other than Yoshi's. Maybe there wasn't. I'm just crazy. Yeah, too much break. And then stuff like this happens where I just fumble completely in the first shaft. Oh, that sucked. Does seem to be about that time again when my hand starts to cramp up. So everything's going about as well as I expect. Why am I screwing up on the jumps this badly now? The heck? What am I doing different? I can't tell. Yeah, I know it was going wrong there. I like dropped the controller and tried to hold it in a different position to stop cramping. And all of my timing is wrong. Oh boy. Seriously though, why doesn't this game allow you to use a Wii Remote and nunchuck? If it does, then that means both my nunchucks are broken. If it doesn't, why not? It's better. I think. Hey. I'm sorry, I just like looked at my phone and noticed that A, I'm gonna need to plug it into the charger soon, and B, I noticed some of my Discord messages. As I mentioned earlier, I woke up with a scab on the bridge of my nose, and Jake's instant response is, "Stop picking your nose." And I'm just thinking like, okay, how is picking at the inside of my nose gonna put a scab on the outside of my nose? So I'm gonna send that to him as a message really quick. Also to get some blood flow in my hands. Okay, there we go. Almost. I just put my phone into Do Not Disturb mode, but I can't, in case I am summoned for emergency purposes. Dang it. Ay. Dang it. Plugged in the backup phone. How's these? I have to plug that one in. And another time where the spinning wall jump just didn't happen. Nice. Come on. On. Like when the wall underneath the springs finally decides to be more consistent with the spin wall jumps. The wall in the skewer shaft decides to be inconsistent. You wait for the planets to align for both walls to be consistent. Then I put too much brake on Mario. I have noticed that anytime I seem to have an inconsistency on hitting a spinning wall jump, it's always on walls that I have to hold left on. So hopefully this isn't a problem with my Wii gamepad's pad. I really don't want to play this stage with an analog stick. That'd be terrible. Absolutely terrible. What now, phone? Who's contacting me? Probably Jake responding to me, responding to him. Well, I was half right. It was Jake. But I'm not sure if he's responding to me. Oh, dang it. Dang it. Hoping I could hit that wall. And then potentially save it. This is the most I've died on, like, that segment. It's all because I'm trying to relearn how to do it without getting hit. I'm gonna need to learn that once I start doing the checkpoint clears. You know, maybe I should, like, try to not learn that yet until I start doing the checkpoint clears. Since it'll mean I can rapidly retry that one segment over and over without having to go through this BS. I should clarify, when I say this BS, I mostly mean those springs up there. And this jump. Like, the springs and the 2 jumps leading up to it. What I qualify as that BS. That's like the first really hard jump of this. Heck, I'd partially even classify it as the hardest jump in this. Dang it. Come on. What do I gotta complain about this time? Why do I keep burping? Not sure if they're audible, because I, like, keep my mouth closed when I do. Dang it. What do I gotta complain about this time to get the magic flowing? I think I've complained all that I can about the Sonic movie and its circumstances. I could complain about how my backup phone keeps losing connection to the stream. But I think most of that can just be summed up as iPhone 4. I think is stupid because it used to be There is one point in history where it may have been considered top of the line. And it's not like I'm asking it to do anything that it couldn't previously do. But just for some reason does not want to hold a connection all that much. Come on. Always spin jumps that I have to hold the left button on. I seem to have the most difficulty performing. The exception of the jump right before the checkpoint. The one where I have the coin to indicate when you should jump. But I think the reason why I keep messing that one up is because, like, my heart's racing. At this point, it's like, oh, it's a rarity that I get to that point. That I'm like, oh crap, how do I do this again? May have been like one of the only good moments to have like a hand cam to show my inputs. But good luck getting that set up in here. I mean, like, I have an idea of how I could do it. The problem is, it would A, be low quality and hard to see. B, I don't think I have enough USB cable for it. Like the cable for my camera. There's also my mic, by the way. Cable for my camera is really short. Dang it. Can I save it this time? Yes, I can. Please let this be the run. Why can't I jump off that wall now? Yes! Okay. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Because there's still time for me to whiff this. Still plenty of time for me to whiff this. It's getting, like, cramped. Heart's racing. Ah, great. I waited too long. Now it's just got significantly harder. Might actually be impossible now. Dang it! Well, again, there's a first time for every death. Question is, how many more attempts is it gonna take for me to get back there? Why didn't you jump that time, Mario? You jumped last time. I felt like a weird ramp. It's always walls that I have to hold left at. Ah. Ah. Oh. Oh, that hurt. Oh, God. I'm okay. For now. I went to stretch. I cramped my left pec. I don't think I pulled it. It's like, now it hurts. Ow. I like massage it, coerce it back into not hurting. Dang it. Why did stretching like that hurt my pec? Like, I've been stretching, like, between deaths. Suddenly that one was just like, nope. Okay, between every couple deaths or so. Oh cool, my internet also had a fart. Like, my backup phone is saying that buffering might mean it'll lose connection here soon. The main phone is just like, hey, welcome to the chat room, welcome to the chat room. Stream side looks fine though. That's because my computer is a wired connection. So if that falters, then everything's screwed. And too much break again. Now I just keep putting on too much break. Hey Mario. Are you gonna make this jump this time? Nope. I need to put some brake on that jump. Because if I don't, Mario has enough momentum to hit the ceiling, then he just falls like a rock onto that one muncher. If I put on too much brake, then Mario just detaches from the wall. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like... yeah, you need to hold the direction of a wall for Mario to actually be able to wall jump to it. Whether or not he slides down the wall is if you're holding the direction of the wall whenever Mario's in the air. As you can see here. So it's not like I can just let go of the button whenever I do the first normal wall jump. I need to hold that next button in order for Mario to even be able to do a wall jump. I'm just gonna mess up all the other jumps again. Typically the cycle around here. Buffering for no good reason. We'll figure out how to fix it. It's gonna do one of those things where I actually have to open up my app history. Close the app. iPhones. If you were an Android, you'd still be functional. Jumps I have to hold left on, man. Why are those the ones giving me the most trouble? Rules of nature in Mario Maker. If I need to hold left on a jump, chances are it'll be one that I fail a lot. How many platformers do you have to go left? It's all about going right. Not almost tear my pectoral muscle again. And I accidentally hit the button. No, that spike is at it again. I mean, like, considering a lot of my deaths seem to come from this first segment of the stage, if I can clear this stage and start doing checkpoint clears, I don't see it taking nearly as long. The worst part with, like, deaths like that last one is it looks like I shouldn't have died. It just looks like, oh, I wasn't holding the button enough. I was holding that button. That time was me holding it just a little too early. Oh, this is gonna suck. On now. I can make that jump. I've made it a ton of times now. What the heck? Mobile plan. And why is my phone run? Why is my computer running it? I mean, it looks like something about my antivirus. But it's like my computer doesn't have any means of using LTE. That jump. And that jump is the hardest one in the whole stage, as far as I'm concerned. I would call the piranha plant, not piranha, the final jump before the locked door. I would call that one easier than this one, just to get to those springs. Just to get to those springs, man. Like, if I get to those springs, I can usually make it to the final shaft before the locked door. Question is, can I get past those springs? Why I feel if I can get to the checkpoint clears, I won't have nearly as much trouble. Like, I've actually gotten so used to some of these other jumps that I'm starting to feel like this stage is too easy. And I have to remind myself, no, Sonny. Not too easy. Becoming a well-oiled machine. Dang. And then occasionally I screw up like that. Now imagine if Mario Maker put in a function like, oh, you died too many times clearing this stage. We feel the stage may be too hard for all the players. That'd be the stupidest decision they could make. Because some people want dumb hard challenges. And I didn't want to fall off the thwomp there, dang it. Dang it. Don't know why I failed that jump. I didn't even need to hold left. Screw it, just taking the hit. Why? That's like the first time I've sounded actually defeated by this stage. Not giving up yet. Still not giving up yet. I've got about another hour and a half on the stream time. I'm not giving up yet. That's still plenty of time to clear this stage and clear the checkpoints. I kind of find it funny that I have the chat message up on stream, like on screen, that says I do not have any Mario Maker bots, and that the command of exclamation point add will not do anything. I mean, I'm not usually part of the Mario Maker community. I'm just streaming Mario Maker because why the hell not? So maybe it's just become first nature for just kind of an instinct. But I do kind of find that funny. So that's brightened my mood a bit amidst all of the failures in trying to upload this stage. Dang it. Do it. Dang it. Didn't have enough jump height. Haven't died like that in a while. How many total hours have I spent on this game? It's my 4th stream. They've all been about 3 hours. At the end of today's stream, I'll be hitting the 12-hour mark on trying to clear this stage on stream. And the worst part is, I could have made it longer. I could have made it longer. I still have a whole subworld that I could have used. But instead, the subworld is delegated to exclusively checkpoint duty. I think there's a way to trick out the whatchamacallit. Dang it. I think there's a way you can use the checkpoint system to allow it to count as more than one checkpoint by constantly swapping between the two flags. I'm not sure how to do that or how to incorporate it into this kind of stage. If it's even possible to incorporate it to this kind of stage. Dang it. Ouch. And I can't remember if I did or not, but I think I may have used the multi-checkpoint trick in one of my other stages. If I can clear and upload this stage before I have to end off, I'll probably try to play some of my other stages. Because, again, I don't have any bots to keep track of these codes that people keep sending. Come on. And too high. Surprised I haven't lost feeling in my thumb yet. Like, I'm holding B throughout this entire stage. I don't think there's any point in which not holding the run button is a good idea. Just about all these stages require max speed momentum. Or just about max speed momentum. But I don't have an easy way of just holding down the run button outside of using my thumb. If I could figure out how to do that, then my hand cramps would probably go away because of the way I have to hold the Wii U gamepad. Again, because of the gamepad, I don't have much of an easy way to do that. Don't have any pliers down here. Or any big enough clips. I think any clips I may have had, I don't have any more. Don't have any good enough rubber bands. I don't have any good enough tape either. Dang it. Okay, I also have Y button set as run. But I'll forget to do other jumps by not holding the right button just because muscle memory. Like, it's hard for me to remember that I can press X to jump. Keep looking around to see and hope that I find something I can make here. Come on. God, I wish I could just be playing this game with a GameCube controller. I'll be able to play Mario Maker 2 with a GameCube controller. Because I don't think they updated the Wii U firmware to just take advantage of the GameCube adapter system-wide. I don't think they will. I'd need Homebrew for that. Dang it! Wasn't looking at the screen. Yeah, you'd need Homebrew to get to recognize the GameCube controller adapter on a system-wide level. I mean, that'd suck. Would it suck? I'd only be pressing Z. Maybe if I had like one of those Wii Classic controller to GameCube controller adapters, maybe that'd make my life easier. Even though the GameCube controller technically doesn't have enough buttons to be a classic controller. Am I gonna get another attempt at the gauntlet today? Sorry, I just hear stuff going on outside my office. And I'm not sure if it can be picked up on stream. I hope it can't. But it's kind of an important thing that I should probably keep an ear out for. Jumps that I have to hold left on, man. Did it! Hang Spike. this shaft here to the right. I will stand by saying is the hardest part of the entire stage. Why didn't you spin jump, Mario? Why did you twirl? I know why it happened. That meant I pressed the button too early. This stage is really starting to take its toll on me now. Finally starting to break my persistence. Well, no, it's not, because I'm not gonna give up. It's starting to make me wish that I wasn't so persistent. Maybe stubborn is the better word. Stubborn, persistent. Eh. Not sure if you can hear, like, my aspirated sighs of acceptance. That's a first, I think. I can't remember. Not trying to be fancy here, I'm just screwing up the momentum. Well, surprised I'm not dead. Now I'm dead. If I, like, had some duct tape in here, I could probably down the B button. But alas, I do not. I used the last of the duct tape that I had in here for a different project. Did it again, Mario. Why? Why didn't you stick to the wall? I was holding the right direction! I'm starting to wonder if the spinning wall jump is a glitch. The game just stops remembering how its own physics works, because it's like, wait, what the heck is this guy doing? I'm not sure if like all my button presses can be heard, but I'm pressing the buttons. Accidentally held the button, but realized it just in time. Okay. Can I please do this time? That time I made sure to hold the button long enough to see that happen. Then I hit the ceiling because I had too much leftwards momentum. The fact that I'm making myself angry at my own stage means that I've done a good job in making a really hard stage. Wish I could see some actual, like, good Mario Maker players try to beat this stage. Like, how would Penga fare on this stage? Does he even do viewer-submitted levels? I don't think I've ever seen him do that. I've seen him make levels. I don't think he does viewer submission. I know he'll play people's, like, Mario World hacks. I'd joke and say maybe Mario's having difficulty making some of these jumps because he's constantly spinning. think I'm a little too far gone for that kind of humor. I don't think I can ground pound on piranha plants to kill them. Can I? The next death, I'll attempt it on the first piranha plant. Nope, you can't. Okay. I need to plug a phone into a charger real quick. Okay. Back to hell. I guess in the lore of Mario, back to the underwear. I hold left too much, then it applies enough of a brake on Mario that he goes more upwards than outwards. Okay, well, he still has the same upwards height, but he hits the ceiling too early and thusly drops into the Muncher. No matter how many times I'm able to twirl. I need to not hold left that much. But the minute I hold right, he detaches from the wall. Oh, I screwed that up. Okay, I'll test here. I'll start sliding down the first wall, and then hold right. I get back up there. I test this. Nope. Yeah, you can have Mario detach from the wall. How did I get past that jump the first time I tried using normal wall jumps? Maybe it wasn't the first time, but whatever. Or you know what, did I do a normal wall jump on the first? Like I do two normal wall jumps up there. Was the first one normal and the second one a spin jump? I honestly can't remember anymore. If I can remember, I'll try making the second one a spin jump. I know the spin jump has less height than a normal jump. assuming I get back there. What is with holding left? Making me not good at holding right for jumps, words. I am... my brain. I disagree, but whatever. Dang it! I blame the alarm. But I honestly forgot I should... Alarm. Okay, cool, I can make Mario jump higher by holding the normal jump button. I guess that answers my question of how adjusting the height of your spin jump would work if I was using a Wii Remote. I really don't want to use a Wii Remote for this stage because that'd mean every time I want to do a spin jump I have to shake the dang Wii Remote. Considering how I have to press the spin jump button for all of these wall jumps. Imagine shaking the Wii Remote for all of those. I'm using tilt controls. Imagine Mario, like trying to play like New Super Mario Brothers Wii with tilt controls. Like, I know there are some platforms that tilt depending on how much you're holding the Wii Remote to one direction. But imagine if they took all of that kind of stuff out, but instead made Mario move left by tilting the Wii Remote left and right by right, kind of like navigating Sonic and Sonic and the Secret Rings. And then, like, it would also determine your running speed. It would be like analog. You tilt it super left. You want him to run. And the buttons would just be for things like throwing fireballs and picking things up. Heck, it'd solve the problem of having too many actions on one button. That'd be a hell game to play. This is coming from a guy who doesn't mind playing Sonic and the Secret Rings. Saved it. That's because that twirl wasn't supposed to be a twirl, it was supposed to be a wall jump. Or a spinning wall jump. Couldn't save that one, though. They just finally chipped enough away at me. How much longer before it chips enough away that I finally buckle and make something easier? My current guesstimate is never. I would hope for that to remain true. Oh, my hand is starting to cramp. Yeah, unless you're good enough to get this stage done in few tries, I don't recommend playing the stage with the Wii U gamepad. Or if you do, find some way to hold down the B button. Every time I die like that, I just kind of slowly tilt the gamepad down and lift my head up. Kind of like a kind of face. But I don't have a face cam. Nor do I want a face cam at the moment. Stupid deaths call for stupid reactions. I'm just closing out a few alarms. Other stupid events. Not stupid events, stupid notifications. Getting so used to seeing this part of the stage that my eyes are starting to go crossed. Go cross, get cross, go cross. What's the proper terminology for that? Yeah, I would try to use my Wii Classic controller. Like, the D-pad on that is significantly worse than the one on the Wii U gamepad. I'm at that point. That point where I'm getting so frustrated that any built-up skill I've acquired is just kind of null and void. Okay. Noted. And if I want to do a... Don't know why it spun jump twice there, but... Okay, time to take a deep breath and think here. I think no matter which wall jump I use, if I hold left too much, then Mario doesn't have enough forward momentum. And he'll hit the... He's more than likely gonna hit the ceiling, no matter what. But if I hold left too much, he'll hit the ceiling too soon. And if he hits the ceiling too soon, he falls, he hits the muncher. And if I'm doing a spin jump, then I can't do anything to try and save myself, because you can't twirl in a spin jump. My best bet would be to use normal jumps and mash the hell out of the twirl. How many twirls can I get a jump? Might be able to get a second twirl in there if I'm lucky. That's assuming I use both triggers for twirling. I usually only use one. How do I fare swapping fingers with the spin jump? Just to see if it'll uncramp my hand. I'm gonna be doing pretty poorly swapping fingers. In fact, I can feel a bit more hand cramp happening because I'm trying to forcefully remind myself in real time how I'm supposed to do this. And of course that jump continues to be that jump. Oh, come on. On. Hmm. Times like this, I wish I had a bad MIDI of like Numb. I'd just play that in the background right now. Maybe if I had like the bad MIDI used in Crawling in My Crawl. Basically a bad MIDI of anything Linkin Park. Very accurately describe the emotions I'm feeling right now. Well, if in the event I can't clear the stage today, what did I learn for the next set of attempts? Do not wait at the helmet. That will screw with the sync. Everything else is in. It'll make the stage notably more, it'll make the challenge notably more difficult. Dang, Spike. Oh! Too much spin. So much spin. Oh, I'm double face palming right now. Don't know why I didn't hold the button there. Too much spin. Makes you hit the wall. And because my instinct was spam spin, I did a spinning wall jump. What? Well, that's a first. The whole reason I go quiet at that part of the stage specifically, consistently, because I keep thinking, okay, am I gonna find some new way to screw this up? And I did. I did. Why? 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 Press the button. Buttons were pressed. The input didn't happen. So close. Okay. I know this time not to wait so long at going through the next pipe. I am going to wait a little bit, not stopping the stream, but I want my thumb to stop hurting. I'm gonna take a little minor breather. A little minor. I wanted to stretch my legs real quick. Because there's still plenty of time for me to whiff this. I can not only whiff the thing badly as I did last time, but I can also whiff the final That's over. Bad. Floor. Breaths. Why is the sequence off? Why aren't they in the same positions they were last time? They're not supposed to be this out of sync. It didn't do that. Why? Why? Where am I waiting too long? I'm not changing anything. Only testing. Yeah, why are they like this? Why are they like this? I mean, I think this is how I think this is how it was supposed to be. But why was it different the one time? Why is it different? Give myself a key. Really quick. How do I give myself a key again? Seriously, how do I give myself a key again? It's been too long. Trying to replicate my actions from the one time. Pattern is completely different than the one time that I was able to clear it. I can't get it to go back to that pattern. So much easier. It's so much different. Why? How did it desync? Like, I'm guessing the one time I did it desynced. But what caused it to do that? What caused it to desync? I don't know. Can I just try to remember how I'm supposed to get through this? Like, I know how. I want to prove that I can do it before I try the rest of the stage again. Because I don't know how it desynced. But somehow it desynced and I got a much easier cycle. Because, like, these two bike tops were, like, right next to each other. Made everything significantly easier. I mean, I guess I just found the strategy right here. For, like, maybe that time I just gotta do a better jump. And remember to use spin jumps. Why? Why was it different? I guess the trick is to try and keep that big hammer brother off screen, so I don't have to deal with him. Like, does it have something to... All I can guess is that it would have something to do with, like, the global timers of the stage. And potentially resetting them by staying in the subworld too long. Because you have to go through that subworld no matter what. Who? Oh cool, I missed the jump. Time for backup strats. And then Mario won't jump. And Mario jump. Okay, I need to start doing some time calculation here. 2:36. Ivan usually gets home at 2:50. Doesn't come into here till like past 3. If I have like a miracle run or two, I could clear the stage today. But if it gets to like 2:40, I can't clear the stage, I'll just play some of my other stages. Or I'll probably just keep retrying the end of the stage there. Until I get it right. I can get everything else right. Yeah, I'm just gonna try the end of the stage. By end of the stage, I mean right here, so I can practice getting this tower timing correctly. I don't have the key. Can't remember how to make a key. Out of slots for one. Fantastic. Hello. Just practicing the end portion of this stage, because this is where I have the most trouble. I don't feel like I have enough time left in the stream to clear the stage and clear it from its checkpoints. So, the rest of the stream is just practice. Of course I get that much quicker. And I've already lost the helmet. And I'm pretty sure it's impossible now. Okay, it's probably not impossible, but probably like frame perfect. Dang it. Dang it. I somehow didn't die doing the spin jump on that one. Holy crap. Yeah, this is the rest of the stream. I need to practice this part till I get it right. So that way next time I stream, I'll actually be able to clear this dang stage. And upload it. It's been sitting on my Wii U's hard drive since like 2016. And sitting there waiting to be completed for over probably like 3 years now. Well, I think I figured out how to do this tower the way I initially intended, instead of trying to do some fancy jump trickery. Dang it. Hello. I usually never die in this part, but now that I'm practicing it, I'm dying a lot. And I held the button. Dang it. How do I get the momentum here? How did I get the momentum? I officially cannot remember how I intended this part to be done. Keep consistently getting hit by that muncher. That's how. That's how I intended to get through, and I don't even realize what I just did to do that. I have no idea what I did differently. This pattern's still in sync. Again, don't know why. I'm just getting my butt handed to me. Now if I could... Even if I could make it through that hitless... I'm certain it's possible to get through that hitless. I mean, at the very least, I'm gonna need to figure out... Yeah, I'm gonna need to figure out how to go through it hitless. Because once this P-switch goes all the way through this... Once the P-switch goes all the way through this, it's gonna land on spikes. Unless I for some reason make it land on a springboard. Can you press a P-switch in midair? Like, you have a few frames jump on it. Now I'm gonna do a stupid and see what happens if it lands on... Okay. Where's the button? Where's the note block? There it is. And then even if you can hit it in midair, the next question is, can you just cheese this challenge by staying on the note block? Could you theoretically cheese this challenge by staying on the note block? And what happened? Dang it. Okay, no idea what it hit. No idea what it's hitting. I think it might be one of these guys. That means putting the spring block there wouldn't help at all. What happens if I try just using this as a projectile? I think that might actually, like, make the challenge unbeatable. Projectile. Right, that also takes you out of a spin jump. Okay, that was a sick trick. The idea that I'm trying to test here is like, what if... What if you could, like, hit one of the piranha plants with it? Right, because if you hit the underside of the whatever these things are called, spike tops, with this helmet, then you'll kill them. Who knows, maybe this challenge is easier as Small Mario. Gosh darn it. Except I just screwed it up. But I was seemingly having an easier time as Small Mario. Alright. Well, assuming you have one hit, what happens when you get to the end and need to land on the P-switch? I could technically make this stage even harder by taking away the extra hit, but no. No, I made this decision 3 years ago and I'm not changing it. The only thing I've changed about this stage from 3 years ago was something that actually broke and I couldn't figure out how to make it not break, while keeping the original design integrity intact. Oh cool, I got hit. Expecting to get that extra height, so nice. I'd done a bigger jump, I would have avoided it. Dang it. Like, can I make any use out of duping the shell? Like, I know if I press... I know if I press down while holding the shell. Okay, well, number one, the one piranha plant disappeared. I'm guessing it either A, didn't have time to spawn, or B, okay, whatever. That's gonna be it for today. Because I have had it up to here with that stage. Dang it. If I was smart, I would practice this stage off screen. But I'm not smart. I want to do other things. Besides, it's cramping the hell out of my hand. So, if I do... Okay, when will the next day I can stream be? I honestly don't know. I want to say next Tuesday, but I think I may have work next Tuesday. Gotta pull up my schedule. Tuesday, May 7th. I am indeed on the schedule. That stinks. I think I'm on the schedule for Monday, Wednesday as well. I'm not on the schedule for next Thursday. That'll likely be the next day I stream. Let's see here. Can I raid the Runaway Guys? They're doing a charity marathon. If I can, then that'll be how I end it off. Is this how I do the command? I have no idea how to do this. That'd be something I should probably learn how to do for future. Alrighty, that should be how it is. Oh boy, that's a thing. Yay. Well, that'll be it. See you next time. Oh, everything's breaking. Am I still live? Thought that would automatically end my stream. Oh cool, I broke the chat function.